Can you believe this? I'm sitting here, scrolling through Reddit and stumbling upon a story that's straight out of a soap opera. Wibtah for refusing to help my parents pay off a 10-year-old loan that just wiped out my dad's pension. Oh, it gets better. Let me set the scene. Meet our main characters. Karen, the mom, Brenda, the dad, who's more like a sidekick than anything else in this drama, and our narrator, a young man named Jason. Jason is 31 years old, works in ESL teaching in Southeast Asia, and has been living on his own for some time now. Jason grew up with his parents under the thumb of Karen, who's always borrowing money and making promises that never see sunlight. She used to be a bank teller but got fired for unpaid loans. Talk about a financial failure. Brenda, meanwhile, is content to let Karen handle everything while he struggles through life. High school was a nightmare. Karen couldn't afford Jason's books, so she borrowed a set from someone else and told him it was his responsibility. He was publicly humiliated for cheating, but who could blame him when his mom had such a mess of a financial situation? Fast forward to college. Karen takes out a study now, pay later loan through the National Public Pension Agency. She promises Jason that she's handling everything with Brenda's salary. But of course, nothing is as simple as it seems. When they graduate, Jason confronts Karen about the loan. She swears up and down that they're sorting it out via his dad's income. But hey, can you blame him for refusing to hand over his hard-earned paycheck? He decided to give a measly $16 USD monthly allowance instead. Surely she couldn't have spent more than that on herself, right? Fast forward 10 years of financial drama and broken promises. Karen runs an online shop filled with unsold stock, borrowing even more money along the way. She won a 150cc scooter in a supplier raffle but turned it down to pay off her balance, which is just another way of saying she's always making excuses. Jason finally had enough and stopped giving Karen any cash. He'd rather give his grandparents direct access to bills, knowing full well that Karen would spend it on something else, like takeout when she was supposed to be buying medicine for herself. Now comes the plot twist. Jason's dad gets retrenched. When claiming his separation pay and pension, an agency reveals a shocking truth. The entire retirement fund is gone to pay off the college loan that Karen took 10 years ago and never bothered to repay properly. Almost $3, 270 USD was wiped out due to interest, leaving just over $2, 936 USD, and that's his dad's life savings. Jason refuses to step in because he feels it's unfair. He grew up with zero stability due to Karen's choices, and now is using his own hard-earned savings to build a secure future. How can he be expected to throw away half of what little he has saved to clean up a decade of lies? His grandparents are furious, but Jason stands firm. It's not just about money, it's about principle. He's tired of being the piggy bank for his entitled mother and her failures. So here we are at the justice moment. Were they the jerk? Or was Jason right to say no? Drop a comment below and let's discuss who deserves the title of jerks in this story. Can you believe this? I mean, can you really believe the audacity? AITA for using your property legally but against neighbors' wishes and to their point. Asterisk not the way it had been used for the last 50 years asterisk. It's like they're living in the past. This isn't a Hickville farm, one neighbor said, with such smugness it could probably power a small town. Let me set the scene. /u/alternative egg 7876 moved to this new town for work and found a house that was perfect. No zoning regulations or HOA. He wanted chickens in his backyard and an accessory dwelling unit, next door, which he finished with all the proper permits. The whole shebang, legal, code compliant, ready to rent out short term. But then, boom, enter Karen, Brenda, and Chad, 3 of 4 neighbors who are now calling him an asshole for ruining their neighborhood. Their reasoning: they don't want renters because they think it makes the area less family-friendly. That's like saying owning a phone ruins your life. It's just not that big a deal. They even went so far as to yell at him multiple times. Can you imagine? This isn't a Hickville farm, Chad said, as if he owns the dictionary of normalcy. And don't forget, they're yelling about asking for permission before doing anything legal and permitted by the town. Seriously, it's like they want a do not disturb sign on their own front door. To top it all off, these neighbors are so uptight they didn't even think he should have moved there in the first place if he didn't want to associate with anyone. I mean, seriously. If you don't want to talk to your neighbors, why did you move here? They asked him. It's like they're trying to control everyone's life, and let me tell you, it gets better. He even built more privacy fencing to help alleviate their concerns, but still, they were yelling at him. He was doing everything by the book, and yet they couldn't handle it. I know short-term landlords are considered the bane of existence, he writes. But I do still live in the main property in the main house, and I'm not running multiple investment properties. That's right, he's just trying to make ends meet while living on his own land. The worst part is that they want him to change the neighborhood. It's like they're in a time machine stuck in 1970, but the rest of the world has moved on. This isn't a Hickville farm, Chad said, with such a tone it could stop a clock. And for what? So he can't have chickens or rent out an ADU? Plot twist incoming. He's not done yet. He's going to talk about this with the town officials and see if there are any legal ways to deal with these overzealous neighbors. Because seriously, who has the right to dictate how someone uses their own property just because it's against their personal preferences? So were they the jerk? Drop a comment below. Can you believe this? AITA for not wanting my friend's kids to come on our vacation. I mean, seriously. These grown adults are acting like entitled brats. I'm bringing the kids, said one friend, and then her husband chimed in with, great, so am I. Wait for it. The audacity. My other friend, who also has kids, promptly agreed. Oh, it gets better. These aren't even new parents. They have 5, 4, and 1-year-olds. They've left their kids with their parents before, but now they expect us to deal with them. We've been planning this trip for a year. It's a 2-week international adventure, an expensive vacation that we've sacrificed our entire paid time off for. And what do these entitled folks want to do? Bring the kids? Yeah, she really said that. So if we can't bring the kids, we're uninvited? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. They think they're being inclusive, but really this could turn into a nightmare. All of us without kids sidebarred and said we don't want them on the trip. We've been super clear about it. But now they're offended. So if we can't do separate things, the kids will be at every dinner and outing. This is no fun for anyone. We love their kids, but this isn't a babysitting trip. The more they insist, the less we want to go through with it. Our group of 10 people, 6 without kids, are holding our ground. They're talking about cutting the trip down to just 1 week and going somewhere closer. But honestly, that's not what any of us signed up for. We wanted this 2-week adventure together. This is a standstill, and it's been tough. Plot twist incoming. They brought up a potential compromise where we cut the trip down to 1 week and go somewhere closer. The more we talk about settling for this lesser option, the less we want to do it at all. We're discussing it, but deep down, I think most of us are just hoping they'll back off. Were they the jerk? Drop a comment below. Can you believe this mess? I'm sitting here going through a raw Reddit post, and it's absolutely bonkers. AITA for disinviting my flaky friend from a group event by deleting the invitation. Let's break this down. First off, we have our protagonist, /u/confident office 720. Now, I know exactly how they feel because I've dealt with friends like this before. They're holding onto a friend purely out of history, but their flakiness has been going on for years. This isn't just about being late or missing events, it's about outright ghosting. The worst part is that during these ghosting phases, she's actively on her phone hitting up guys on Hinge and going on dates. It's like she's not even paying attention to the people who matter most. For example, a friend organized a Christmas sleepover at an Airbnb for her, and she never showed up, sending a half-assed text saying she was tired or got held up. Another time, we were all waiting in the lobby of a museum and 15 minutes past the meeting time, she texts. "Oh, sorry, just woke up, can't make it." Most of their mutual friends have cut her off because of this, but /u/confident office 720 felt bad for her as she was losing friends, so they decided to give her another chance. Every year, a big group of about 30 closer friends go to a venue that this girl loves for an epic day of drinks. This year, they sent her a text explicitly inviting her. Can you imagine? They waited and waited, but true to form, she completely ignored it. Knowing she was on her phone, /u/confident office 720 finally had enough. In the chat, they deleted the invitation messages entirely, effectively rescinding the invite right out from under her. And oh, what a reaction. Now she's messaging them demanding to know why the texts were deleted and is asking for details about the event. She's getting annoyed because /u/confident office 720 is refusing to give her any further information or logistics. /u/confident office 720 feels like they blew their chance by ignoring the message in the first place, and they're exhausted from giving grace that she doesn't deserve after years of being treated like an afterthought. She's saying /u/confident office 720 didn't give her enough time to respond. So, were they the jerk for rescinding the invite? Were they justified in cutting this flaky friend out entirely? I'm not done yet. There's a whole other side to this story that I need to reveal. /u/confident office 720, your right to stand up for yourself and your friends. But let's take it back one step. Did you give her enough time to respond? Maybe she was just busy or had an emergency. But here's the thing. If she were truly a friend, she would have shown up eventually, wouldn't she? The reality is that /u/confident office 720 decision to delete the invitation was probably the only way to get her attention. She needs to learn that ghosting and flakiness are not acceptable behaviors in friendships. Were they the jerk? Drop a comment below. Can you believe this? This is a perfect example of why I love this subreddit. Today's story is about a brother who's really trying to do the right thing and his dad just... Well, let's see how it plays out. So here we go. I'm sitting in a taxi with my sister on the side of a narrow, uncrowded road. It's a sunny day and she's supposed to be helping me by getting out when it's safe. But instead, she just opens the door without checking if any cars are passing, letting this car come crashing into our taxi. And get this, my sister is on the autism spectrum, but not severely. She has some awareness issues, sure, but that's no excuse for such a careless action. The driver and I exchange info, and instead of staying calm, she runs away. Can you imagine? We both leave her in the dust while we handle the situation. My mom suggested taking the money from my sister's savings account to cover the damages, but oh no, she throws a tantrum. Her entitlement is through the roof. The kicker, I ask my mom if we should cancel our plans for the day as punishment. She refuses, so now I'm buying her ice cream and other things she wants. Yeah, that's right. I get to be the bad guy in this story because of a reckless decision by someone who is supposed to be more responsible. When I finally get home, my dad calls me out on it. He's furious. He says I should never have opened the door facing the road and that everything was my fault. I mean, really? I've done it a million times before without any issues. He starts yelling at me, saying I'm stupid for this while I ask him if he's stupid for not teaching her better. We argue more. My dad is relentless in his blame game, but here's the thing. When it comes to my sister, nothing happens to her. She's barely scolded and then defended by family members as different and special. Meanwhile, I'm left dealing with the fallout of being called a jerk. Wait for it. This is where things get really interesting. My dad demands that I apologize for calling him stupid. Do you see what's happening here? He's the one who lost his cool, yet he wants me to take the fall. The revelation, I decide to stand my ground. You can't just let someone get away with this kind of entitlement and irresponsibility. I refuse to apologize and tell my dad that it was never my fault in the first place. The resolution. My dad sees that I'm not backing down. He starts to realize his mistake, and we finally have a productive conversation about responsibilities and consequences. It's a good reminder for both of us on how we handle situations like this moving forward. Were they the jerk? Drop a comment below.